Audioholics, this is Logan, and today I'm going to be doing a kind of different, I guess you could say maybe more impromptu video, sort of off the cuff. So, earlier today I got something which I ordered from VNYL, Vinyl. Now, vinyl is this sort of it's sort of like one of those loot crate loot box things you've been hearing about over the last few years. Obviously the original loot crate is no longer there, and I was not anywhere near interested in it anyway, but there are a lot of more niche things that have spun off of it. BarkBox, for example, is a loot crate for random dog treats and dog toys. There's one for random Japanese cuisine, Japanese food, Japanese toys, and things like that. This one, as the name might entail, pertains to vinyl records. Now, it should be no secret to anybody who is watching that I'm a huge fan of vinyl records. I have been ever since I was young, about 10 to 12 years old. So I figured if anyone would get use out of a service like this, it's me. I'm the target audience right here. So, before we begin, I just have to applaud the box design. First of all, it has their logo on it, which is kind of cute. And then, even attention to details like this. They have, like, their logo and this really cool design all, like, embroidered around the box and things like that. It's really cool. There's a lot of cool attention to detail things like this. So basically, there are a couple different options. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by this in any way. I'm not getting paid to do this. In fact, I'm paying for the service just like anybody else. Not getting any discounts, not getting any kind of reward from it. These are all my opinions as a legitimate, regular customer who could stop and start this service at any time. But I am very impressed. So, this isn't an unboxing video. I've listened to all of these records. So, to start off with, not even counting with records, it came with this. And then if you turn it over, it's a Mad Libs thing. I was not expecting that, and I kind of had a bit of a laughing fit when I first saw this. Like, what? Mad Libs? That's insane. I'll have to probably do this at some point, but, you know what? I don't know if this is unique to everyone, but if you want to pause the video, maybe take a screenshot, print this out, you can do this yourself. I don't believe it's mirrored or anything, so you should be able to do that. So, another thing that it comes, and every vinyl shipment comes with one of these. This seemingly handwritten note that kind of details what it gave you and how it gave it to you. So basically, there's a bunch of different plans and a bunch of different things that you can order. I ordered the 3-record plan. I believe that's about, I think, $40 or $50 a month, which seems expensive until you realize that vinyl is just a very expensive hobby anyway. And in fact, I'm kind of saving money by doing this. So it gives you this. It shows you why it gave you the albums, because it pulls things from like Spotify, Discogs, Twitter, I believe, and it gets your music recommendations that way. And if you get the curated option, you get 3 albums based off of what it thinks you're interested in. And spoiler alert, it's pretty accurate. So let's get into these albums. So the first one is UFO Club. This is, let's show the front here. This is the more obscure band. They are inspired by Pink Floyd, according to the note, and definitely I can hear that in the music. It's all very psychedelic, very lo-fi, underground, indie. The vinyl itself, I'll actually show you. It's pretty cool because it's white. You know, definitely makes it stand out. This obviously is not the only, far from the only white vinyl, but it's still pretty cool. It's the only white record that I own. But it definitely helps it stand out a bit. The songs, there's a lot of, like, really good, like, original songs on here. Very kind of, I guess, sort of like a mix of, like, 50s rhythm and blues, rockabilly, combined with 60s sort of psychedelia. And it sounds really nice. And unfortunately, it's one of those ones where I have to, like, really stretch it in to actually get it in the thing. Don't you hate these? Like, the paper sleeves are just, ugh, they're awful. Whatever, I'll mess with it later. But, there are 2 notable covers that I think are really good. Cover of the Ronettes' Be My Baby, which, look, I'm always a fan of Phil Spector era pop. It's honestly, like, I just love that wall of sound. So it's all very, just, I like that. And then they did a really cool psychedelic cover of The Last Time, which is one of my favorite Rolling Stones songs of all time. I absolutely love it. And their cover is just really unique as well. Now, this band is not even on Spotify, so the only way, as far as I can tell, apart from maybe YouTube or something like that, to actually listen to this album is this way, on vinyl. Or possibly on CD, or who knows. Maybe they're, interestingly enough, and they released it on, I don't know, 3 1/4 inch floppy disk. You don't know with some of these bands. They do some interesting stuff. Maybe... I absolutely hate this design. This isn't a problem with vinyl. This is a problem with just... piece of crap. I'll get to it later. But aside from that, it's very good. Next thing is an album that is considerably less obscure. Tool's Opiate EP. This is their heaviest album / EP / anything. Admittedly, I'm not the biggest Tool fan. I don't really worship the ground they stand on like a lot of other people. They're definitely really talented. I love Maynard's voice, which is actually something I've kind of flip-flopped on a bit, but I like his voice. I like the style. It's just something about it doesn't really click with me. The EP is pretty cool, though. I'm probably gonna give this one to Tyler, but even though I'm not a huge fan of Tool, I can definitely understand why I would pick this. I've listened to a lot of Tool. In fact, I've listened to this album on Spotify a few times to try and get into it, as well as all the other ones: Lateralis, Enema, Fear Inoculum I listened to when it first came out. That might actually be my favorite. I've heard 10,000 Days kind of has that sort of atmospheric sound that Fear Inoculum has, but better. So I'll have to check that one out. But I like that EP. Probably going to give it to Tyler, though, because he's kind of bigger into it. And the final one, this one I was pretty excited about, Rob Zombie. This is Sister Ursa. This is a really cool album. I've actually not heard this one. I've listened to Hillbilly Deluxe, which is one of my favorite albums of all time. But this is also pretty good. I'd say, just personally, I think it lacks some of the edge that Hillbilly Deluxe might have had, but there's still some pretty good songs on there. Well, Scum of the Earth is one of them. House of a Thousand Corpses. The one that Ozzy sang on. They're all pretty good. And obviously, it's Rob Zombie, so it's going to have amazing artwork, so I'm going to keep it regardless. I mean, look at this gatefold. Look at this. This is amazing. Even the back is really good. It comes with a poster of, like... See, this is the one side. And then this is the other side. So, really cool. I actually do own Hillbilly Deluxe on vinyl, so this isn't my only Rob Zombie record, but I'm pretty happy to have this one. Definitely helps me build up. Maybe I'll get a complete Rob Zombie collection at one point. I actually haven't heard the other albums by Rob Zombie, but I heard they're all kind of inferior to these two. I saw that there was a Hillbilly Deluxe 2, and I was like, immediately no. Sequel albums are almost universally pretty bad. I mean, Welcome to My Nightmare by Alice Cooper. Operation Mindcrime 2 is pretty bad by Queensryche. Tubular Bells 2 isn't too bad, and Tubular Bells 3 I think there even was, but by Mike Oldfield wasn't too bad, but not nearly as good as the first. So, yeah. Anyway, these are the albums that I got. Again, Rob Zombie, Tool, Opiate, and last but not least, UFO Club. So overall, I think I did pretty well. I'm pretty impressed by this service, and I think I'll probably continue paying for it, given some unforeseen circumstance happens where I don't have money, but I'll probably continue doing this. They might send me a couple more, because basically I screwed up the address the first time, and never noticed until a few months later when they actually, like, finally messaged me. But I might have 2 other shipments in backlog. I don't know if they're going to send those, but I hope that they do, because otherwise I spent like $100 for no reason. But anyway, that's it. Bye-bye.